Hello, I'm Gundy Calpins for this Human Resource Management class, and I'm with Sonya Rosario, who is the Executive Director of Women of Color Alliance. And what we're going to be doing is writing a volunteer handbook. Oh, volunteer handbook? No. I have to be corrected. This is an organizer handbook. And volunteers, yeah, they're nice, but an organizer is really someone who is effective in helping your organization. I would like to start out with a very simple question. What does your organization do?
The Women of Color Alliance was created in the state of Idaho in 1999 to enhance the women who are African American, Latina, new immigrant, Asian Americans, Native Americans, to enhance their life in the state of Idaho around gender and race issues that are often not discussed openly. And they come to the Women of Color Alliance, to our office, to discuss issues that are impacting their lives and their families' lives.
Excellent. And what's the brief history behind this organization in terms of accomplishments and everything else?
The Women of Color Alliance was created in 1999. The impact of a woman on the side of the road who had been beaten and abandoned. And I picked her up. She told me her life story. I was ready to leave Idaho. I wanted to leave Idaho and go back to Texas, where I'm from originally. But instead, I stayed and created the Women of Color Alliance because I felt that it was important to have an organization that could be identifiable to women of color who look and sound like me.
Very good. And what are some of your achievements during this time?
Oh my gosh, we have many achievements. One of the greatest achievements that I think that we did is that we worked on to remove the word squaw from Idaho land places. We created a video describing the term and its meaning. And we went to the Capitol and we supported Indigenous women from 5-6 tribes in the state of Idaho to remove it from Idaho land places. Many people don't know, and most people don't know, that the term itself is very derogatory to Native American women in the state of Idaho. And the reason that I say in the state of Idaho is because this is where we live and this is where we concentrate our work. We don't go outside of Idaho to try to tell another state what they should do in their own state. So the term squaw was one of our achievements. We brought a lot of attention, and we also brought the Women's Campaign Squad at Yale University to the state of Idaho to work with young women at the University of Idaho, and there were women from Boise State University that also went up there to participate, to know what civic engagement and how critical it is, what it is, and it's important to the young women that are coming up in ranks.
Oh, excellent. Lots of good achievements here. And as far as what we're going to be doing in this segment here is that we already have an outline of an organizer handbook. And you've shared some of what your organization does. And what we're going to do is just basically go over the outline. And section 1.0, which is the introduction to the organization, we have already a copy of the history of your organization. The facts, accomplishments, you have a copy of that. We have the mission, and we have the vision very clearly outlined. But we're missing the values. What about the values of your organization?
Well, the values of the organization is to enhance women who specifically live outside of the city boundaries, specifically in rural Idaho. Idaho is a very rural state, very long, very big, and very wide. And so a lot of women don't get the right information and the right resources that they need to support their family or to enhance a lifestyle. So our job is to make sure that we drive out to meet the women. We don't bring them into Boise, but we know that sometimes transportation is not a great thing in the state of Idaho. We don't have great transportation. So what we do is we drive to Duck Valley Indian Reservation. We drive to Fort Hall, Blackfoot, Pocatello, Burley, Mountain Home, Grandview. And the value of our organization is to build a strong relationship with these women, to give them a support system and to build a community support system within its community. Our motto is the leadership should look like the community that it serves. So we don't go as leaders, we go as a support system to assist the women in creating a support system within their community, so when we leave, they have each other.
And really communicate.
And really
Absolutely.
communicate, yes.
Wow, excellent in terms of the values.
Yes.
Now, we have this organizer handbook, I guess, which is the big part of the organization. And the next segment in our outline is organization chart. Could you explain what that chart kind of looks like right now?
Well, we have an executive director. Due to the economy, we haven't had a full staff. We have an executive director. We do have a part-time accountant. We do have a very active board. And our board is very diverse in what they do professionally. We have an economic development director who knows what takes place in the state of Idaho, how people are developing and creating their businesses, micro businesses or small businesses.
So the director does some reports?
The director does
organization?
reports, yes. So let me go back. So we have an executive director and we have a part-time accountant, but we have a very extensive, diverse board that develops and creates with the director the programs that need to run in certain times. So we have leadership development, and we have internalized racial oppression for women of color who may not understand their relationship with other ethnic groups, with other women of color, African American with African women from Africa, other indigenous women. So our board trains other leaders within the community of the state of Idaho to support that we're all in this together and we're all building alliances among each other in the state of Idaho.
So in terms of who's paid or who's not, is the board paid?
The board is not paid.
How many members are there?
We have 8 board members now.
Okay. They're not paid. You are paid.
I am paid.
And below you, who else is paid?
The accountant is paid part-time.
Okay, who else is paid?
Nobody else at this time.
Nobody else,
No.
Okay. Now, who are these organizers? Since we're writing a handbook for organizers, what do they do?
An organizer, and that's exactly what the name means, they organize a community, they organize a function, a structure, an event. And a grassroots organizer, so now let's add the name grassroots organizers. A grassroots organizer would go into Burley and find out who is the #1 woman that sells the most tamales. And if we find the woman that sells the most tamales, or fried chicken, or a fried bread, what we do is we build a relationship with that woman because we know she is the leader within the community. She knows everything and everyone. So that's who we're focusing on. We focus on building relationships, and then we focus on the leadership. But we ourselves are not the leaders. The Women of Color Alliance in Boise, Idaho doesn't go into Burley and say that we are the leaders. We find the leaders and we bring in trainers to organize and to develop these relationships. And the grassroots organizer's job is to go in there exactly like a grassroots organizer, is to find the right people. So that when we leave, the leadership remains in the community that it looks like.
So they're all there, and the organizer helps find some of these people.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a little bit of what they do in terms of the structure here. Now I'd like to go to the next segment on selection policies, section 2.0.
Okay.
And First question, section 2.01, is recruiting administration. I'm assuming you're in charge
I am.
of that, okay?
Mhm.
And in terms of recruiting, let's focus on the organizers. How do you find them?
That, that's hard work, but it seems that we find organizers within their own community. And everybody, I believe, has an inbuilt, they're born with a skill on how to create something powerful within their own community. So what we do is we go into a community and we find young women who want to expand their knowledge around political, economic, and social justice issues.
And how do you find them?
They're universities. We're concentrating
Universities.
at universities, colleges, and high school. So this booklet would go to the Pacific Northwest universities, and we would encourage alumni that we have a strong relationship with because our board have all graduated, and funders and donors and foundations. We have a strong relationship with those women. They're alumni. And we're encouraging them to carry introduce this book to their university.
Now, how do you contact the people within the university?
We would be reliant on alumni. We would request some of these women who graduated from these universities to introduce this book to their university, to the women's centers, women and gender
centers, okay.
Native studies, political science studies. Yes.
And take alumni lists,
Yes.
so things of that nature.
Yes.
So that's how you advertise to find these folks.
And,
Okay.
and the alumni they're already here. We already have a relationship with Boise State University, and many of the professors come from different universities. So we would highly encourage them to take
Okay.
this manual to their university where they graduated from.
Okay, well, very good in terms of recruiting. I'd like to go to the next segment, selection procedures.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to be an organizer.
Okay.
And frankly, I don't have any experience. And how do you select anyone who doesn't have any experience or has a lot of experience? What are you in charge of that?
I would be with the board. The board is very
Board is in
active.
charge, okay.
The board hires me, and the board fires me. So the
Let's
board.
not hear that part.
Okay, so the board hires me. The board is very active, very, very active. So the board has relationship with universities and businesses and colleges and high schools and the community itself.
So if I were to apply to be an organizer, one thing, do I have to fill out a form?
You would fill out an application to become a member of the Women of Color Alliance, and there would be different boxes of what you would want, what you would be focusing on, and to build your skills and your talents, or to increase your skills and your talents within our organization. And you would say, I'm interested in grassroots organizing, I'm interested in fundraising, I'm interested in sitting on the board, I'm interested in civic participation, I'm interested in being an intern, I'm interested in developing my writing skills.
Okay.
And we would look at that, and we would bring in trainers or mentor you through another board member that already has that skill.
So I just filled out my form. So do I give it to you right now, or give it to the board?
No, you would give it to me.
Okay.
I would go through it, and I would know who to send it to, what board member to send it to. Or better yet, I would say on April the 28th, we're going to have a leadership development training.
Okay.
And please come to that. You're interested in becoming a grassroots organizer, a leader within your community. We're bringing in Linda Burnham from the Women of Color Resource Center out of Berkeley, who was a nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005. What better leader could you ask for?
Okay. Well, very good. Very, very clear here. Next segment, within the selection procedures, do you do background checks?
No, we really do not do that.
Okay, do you want to do background checks?
Not really.
Okay. Reference checks, do you have reference checks
Yes,
you want
we
to
do. Oh, yes, we do.
How many references?
3.
Three references.
Mm-hmm.
And any confidentiality forms?
Yes.
What are they?
When you come to work for the Women of Color Alliance and you get trained in special trainings, we ask you to maintain that one-on-one relationship with the Women of Color Alliance, and anything that you hear in the trainings is confidential.
Okay. So, and there's a form to be signed.
There is a form to be signed.
Okay. Oh, very good. Drug testing?
No, we do not do that.
Okay. Any other tests?
No.
Okay. Section 2.03, discrimination policy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of categories on the list. A lot of them are pretty straightforward. Is there anything on the list that we have that you would not want to put in there?
No, not at all.
You're fine here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Immigration policy 2.04.
Mm-hmm. We'd keep that in.
Keep that in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, it's a requirement to keep
yes,
in.
It is a requirement.
So
yes.
Students can write up immigration policy.
Okay.
And disability accommodation.
Mm-hmm. We do not have disability accommodation at this point because we have stairs and no elevator.
And you are small.
And we are very tiny.
Here.
Yeah.
So
we would know that since this booklet is going to be going to the Pacific Northwest to women's and gender studies on campuses, there would be that availability. I mean, there would be a ramp, or there would be an elevator.
Okay. There would be an elevator available at various campuses.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nepotism.
Well, no.
Hiring relatives, not relevant. Take it out.
Yeah, take it out. Take that out. Yes.
Okay, and 2.07, I have to confess, I falsified my application. I'm really from, and I'm here just to be really lazy. And what are you going to do?
Well, as soon as we start calling your references, because we will vet you.
Oh, don't do that, please.
Okay, don't do that.
Okay, when you call my references, then what? What if I'm really bad?
We call your references, and we ask if your application, did you work here? How many hours? Because you say that you worked at the United Nations as an intern. And
I really didn't.
Okay, well, we're going to find out, and guess what? You're not going to hear from us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not even going to fire you because you won't hear from us.
You can't fire me.
You can't fire you because we never hired you.
What if I've been a volunteer for about 1 month, and you find out these terrible things, after I'm in the organization? It's not in my references, nothing like that.
Wow. We've never experienced that.
But with me, you will.
Okay, with you we will. Okay, well, I would have to let you go, and I would have to tell you why.
Okay.
And I would give you a letter of counseling of why we let you go.
Sorry. Okay. Now we have section 3.0, volunteer activities. And who's in charge?
So organization activities, you mean?
Volunteer activity leadership. And who's in charge of that? Are you?
I am the executive director that lays out all the programs. But typically we have a very diverse and strong board that many already take charge of these programs themselves within their own community. So we have the former vice chair of the Nez Perce tribe that would talk about tribal sovereignty and talk about civic participation within her own community. Then we have Millie, I shouldn't mention names. Then we have another board member in Twin Falls that does leadership development. So then she would take charge of that. But everything would come back to me, because I am the sole person that is hired and the person that is running the whole gamut, the whole structure. But the board would always sit down with me and say, I'd like to do this training, and I'd like you to come down, and I'd like you to help me, and I'd like you to maybe buy snacks, send out flyers, do a Facebook, put it on our website, And then I would type in the name of who's going to be running that training.
So with all these activities, what if you have activity Z and it's not going well? What do you do? Is it you or the board changing that activity, or who's in charge?
Well, we're very specific in our organization. We do 3 trainings. We're very specific. One of the trainings is the internalized racial oppression, and that is communities of color, understanding within communities of color, what is the, how does the oppressor become how does the oppressed become the oppressor? And so we talk about these issues and these trainings. So what would happen is that we would do internalized racial oppression, leadership development, and financial literacy to support women in the businesses that they're developing. I myself would go down, and we have a booklet already and how these trainings go. And so the board would already have that in place. And if we get 3 women, we focus on those 3 women.
Now, page 3 of the booklet doesn't seem to be in the right order, and you want to change it. Who's in charge of that change?
That would be me.
You. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, very good. Now, I'd like to go over other sections here. Volunteer activities, are there any breaks? Is that relevant?
Yes, it is. Definitely, yes.
What are the breaks?
Every 15 minutes, people can take their breaks. And in a nonprofit world, you just take your breaks. You don't raise your hand. You don't.
I'm going to take a break right now.
You don't ask permission. We think that as an adult that you already know when you need to take your break. The nonprofit world is a dynamic and beautiful world, but it's a back-breaking world, and I can tell you that personally. I've been a grassroots organizer since I was 19 years old, and I take my breaks.
That's good.
I take my breaks. Everybody needs to take their breaks, even professors.
Whatever. How about the next segment, 3.03, volunteering from home? Is that possible?
We've had people do that, yes, and I myself do that. If I'm going to have a major grant, I will work from home.
Work from home, so that's fine, acceptable. 3.04, personal behavior. That's a very huge topic.
Yes.
Do you want to keep it very general, very vague?
Very general, because I wouldn't even know what that means.
I don't either.
Yeah,
but our students would know.
Yeah, do I walk in and somebody's jumping on the table, or I have no idea. I don't know what that would mean.
Okay, we'll see what you think.
Okay.
Okay, 3.05, use and monitoring of communication methods. Well, I'm a volunteer. What may I use to do the work? And will you pay for it? I have my cell phone. Are you going to pay for my cell phone if I do that?
No, typically, you use our phones.
Oh, use your phones. And so use the telephone. We have
our paper, our pens, our fax, our DSL, our internet. You use everything in the office. And when we travel, and usually we won't have somebody travel with us because we don't have insurance. So usually when we go to a community, the leader is already there. And we travel with everything. We travel with our laptop, our printer.
Your laptop, your printer.
Everything.
What about if I use my laptop?
We tell you that's your responsibility, but we prefer that you use our laptop.
Okay, so prefer.
You do not have to use your items. We have it all.
Okay, just wanted to know. But if I use my own laptop,
that you're responsible.
My responsibility if I
if you drop it, you break it. Yes.
Okay, nice boy.
Nice
boy. Okay. So we have camera phones. You're talking about fax already, the internet. As far as communication methods, do you have blogs, Facebook, or anything like that?
We have Facebook and we have a website. That's all we have.
Okay. Regular mail?
We have regular mail. We have snail mail, yes.
Snail mail. Email?
We have email, yes.
May I use it?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
And we would actually give you while you'll get a WOCA email address.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
You tell me that afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Couriers.
Okay.
It's a foreign term.
Yeah, that's like somebody bringing in
That's an 1800s term,
Yeah.
so
That
move
will-
away from
yeah.
that. PDAs are ancient. Bulletin boards, I'm assuming you have that, something like that.
We do.
Suggestion boxes, do we have that for any complaints, any issues?
Oh, we do? We
Okay.
do. Mm-hmm.
Pager beepers, are they needed?
Nope,
No.
they're not needed.
How about location monitoring?
We have GPS.
GPS?
Yes.
So you have that.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else, other communication methods?
Just our cell phone. That's what we practically do.
Okay, well,
And
very good.
text.
Okay. Next section, 3.11. I apologize for my dress. I don't know if I'm dressed well enough. Is there any way to violate? Is there the dress code? And just common sense or?
Common sense, just don't come in naked. That's it.
Okay.
We don't have a great air conditioning system in our office, and we are upstairs, so heat rises during the summer. And
Okay.
as you well know, Idaho gets extremely, extremely hot. So the girls do come in cutoffs and tank tops and flip-flops, and that's perfectly
That's okay.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
If they're going to be in the office working on a computer, and we have the swamp cooler on and the fans going, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, that will work very well. Okay, you have office. What about decorations and maintenance of the office, like trash? What if I break this table or break a chair?
Well,
What happens?
Well, we replace it.
Yeah, okay.
We're a nonprofit. We don't have anything fancy like this. We started with a kitchen table, so
Okay.
we're not like, but we typically, I don't think we'd ever have that kind of experience.
Okay, but in
We're
case
not a
it does
fraternity.
happen.
Huh?
In case it does happen.
In case it happens, we
they'll
will
replace.
replace it, yes.
Okay. Where does the garbage go?
The garbage goes outside in back of the office.
And who picks it up?
The garbage collector.
Garbage go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm slow on this. Okay. Okay. Attendance and punctuality, basically not relevant.
Punctuality is very important.
Okay.
Very important. Because if we're going to go do a training in Burley, that takes us about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. That means that if we're waiting for you for 30 minutes because you're running late, that's 30 minutes more on the road.
So I apologize, but at the interstate, there was an accident and I'm an hour late. What happens?
And guess what? You're not going to the training. We're going to leave without you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because we don't want to keep people waiting in Burley. They're critical and important. And the mindset of people living in rural Idaho is that they already don't count. They're invisible. And if we keep them an hour waiting, we've validated that mindset.
Okay, so that's what happens here. Now, 3.14, do you have petty cash?
We do have petty cash, yes.
And what do you do with that?
Petty cash is for emergency use. But if somebody is coming in and says, oh, you know what, I don't have enough money for gas, can I get some money? And we have you sign a invoice for that petty cash, for the gas. Our stamps, we buy stamps, we mail out bills and things of that sort. Also, if somebody comes into the office, and we've had this happen, we've had homeless women actually come into our office and say, could you buy me a hamburger? That petty cash is there. But person always signs off on it, and we are a picture-taking organization. You move, we take a picture of you. You move, you say something, we film you. We are an organization that works predominantly around film as well. So the petty.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, exactly. So petty cash is really it's in the office. And there is a clipboard, and there are people sign off, I took $10 and I bought stamps and I bought a coffee. And we're pretty lenient with stuff like that because we don't pay we don't pay good money for these incredible, talented people that are giving their time.
But let's say I'm traveling across state. Do I take things out of petty cash to get my meals or what?
No, that would be called per diem. And we would have you sign. We would already know that you're coming into town.
Okay.
So we have a board member coming in and staying at the La Quinta. We already paid, our credit card is there, our 501c3 is there, we're tax exempt. She doesn't have to pay anything. And breakfast is for free at La Quinta. So we already know she's eating breakfast. But we do give her $50 for this 1-day board meeting to get lunch and dinner, because typically she'll bring somebody with her. So we have somebody flying in and we have somebody driving in from Twin Falls and Blackfoot. And then we have somebody flying in from the Nez Perce tribe, from Lewiston. So they don't have to pay the hotel, nor do they have to pay breakfast. But we know that they have to pay, and they don't have to pay gas. So they get a per diem, they get $50 that 1-day meeting, and they leave the next day.
And to report that $50, what do I do?
To report that $50, I have to give you the check.
Okay.
I give you a check, and you have to either cash it or you have to come in with some money. I don't cash that check for you. That doesn't look right. Yeah. I don't think the IRS would want me to cash
minor
that check.
detail.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next section, conservation. Any things with recycling or
Yeah, we
making
do
sure
have recycle, yes, behind the office.
what are we recycling?
Paper, plastic, and cans.
Okay. Separate bins?
Separate bins,
Okay,
yes.
well, very
We
good.
even have that in the office.
Okay. Next segment, 3.16, sexual harassment. Do you want something special, or do you want something that's standard or anything like that? Standard?
Standard, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Next one, dating. 3.17. Do you want anything on that?
No, I've never had that experience.
Okay. 3.18, lactation accommodation.
Tell me what that means.
Breastfeeding. Is there a separate room?
No,
Don't want that.
no, we don't, yeah. Doesn't bother us.
Okay, subordination, 3.19.
Okay, we do want that, and we have had issues with that.
I'm sorry for being insubordinate. What are you going to do with me?
Counsel, a letter of counseling. We do speak to you first, and then we write down for you what we expect from you and what we see that, so say for instance, we did have a situation where a young woman was bad-mouthing another young woman in the office. And the other young woman didn't tell anybody, and she'd come in and her work was good in the beginning, and then it got really bad. And two women were bad-mouthing this young woman, but we had to let the other young woman go, who started the gossip and started the harassment of this young woman, the bully. And it did happen.
And were you the one?
I had to let her go,
official?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, next one, 3.2, smoking.
Yeah, we don't want smoking in our office. No smoking.
Okay, what about in the grounds?
Yeah, it doesn't
No
matter.
smoking.
We don't care.
What if I vape?
Yeah, I see that all the time. No, that doesn't bother us.
Okay, vaping is okay inside the building?
No, not inside.
Only
the building.
outside?
Only outside.
Only outside, okay.
Smoking and vaping outside only.
Okay. So smoking outside only?
Yes.
On the ground? Okay. Gambling?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I'm kind of like thrown for a loop because we work with the tribes and we do sometimes stay at the casino.
So,
I don't gamble. I don't gamble.
I don't gamble either, but what
If they want to gamble on their
volunteer?
on their own time, that's fine with me.
So,
Yeah.
do we leave this out?
Yes, leave it out. Let's leave
Okay.
it out. Yeah.
Okay. 3.22 software audits. I'm sorry, on my laptop, I have a virus. And I clicked open something and apologize. What do we do?
Well, since it's your own laptop and not ours, that's your responsibility. So.
What about your laptop?
Yeah, that would really be upsetting because we have everything, our grants, our whole life is in the laptop. Don't know what we would do. We would just probably have to take it to our tech guy and make sure that the virus didn't eat up everything. We back up everything though. We have a great tech.
Oh, good.
We back up everything.
So students can go into detail from professional organizations on what you do with software audits,
Yes.
licensing, malware, all that
Yes.
stuff. Okay. Okay, 3.23, volunteer meetings,
Yeah, we do
regular
have,
meetings.
we do have regular meetings, yes.
And is there a particular set time, or is that flexible?
Usually it's flexible, but usually it's on the weekends, and it's usually during the evenings.
Okay, so any time in the evenings? or
Yes,
just-
anytime in the evenings.
And the purpose is to,
To just meet and greet and continue that flow of the relationship. Relationship building is unique to our organization.
excellent, excellent. Any other purposes?
Yeah, to start addressing the issues in the community, as well as start training the trainers for the workshops.
And should this be renamed as organizer meetings?
Yes,
Okay.
I would say organizing meetings.
I almost forgot that.
Yes.
That was very good. Media relations. Next topic, 3.24. I'm an organizer. Do I get in front of TV, or is that appropriate?
Yes, you get in front of the
As an
TV.
organizer.
As an organizer, yes.
And am I a representative of the
Yes,
organization?
of the Women of Color Alliance,
Okay.
yes. And you already will have a spin, and we will have already trained you and 3 other people to support you in your media spin.
What if I spin it incorrectly on TV?
That's why you have 2 or 3 people standing there to encourage you not to spin it out incorrectly.
Okay, I'll try to avoid them.
Or they'll take over.
Okay.
Okay, that's really important for a nonprofit. Yeah.
Understood here. Termination procedures. Okay, you're talking about in interview, just talk with me if I get terminated right before. If I continue, do you have something like progressive discipline? Like as an oral warning is my initial interview.
Yes.
Do you have a written warning if I
Yes, we
continue?
do. Yes, we do.
Do you have a suspension?
No, we do not. We have an oral, and then we have a letter of counseling. And we address the points of discussion the second time, and we need to let you go.
Okay. Okay, ergonomics. I want to adjust my seat. Is there any policy you want?
No, not really. We do have ergonomic chairs. We have 2 of them. But no.
Don't have to mention
No,
anything.
not at all.
Okay.
No.
Dangerous one, 3.31 parties.
Okay. Well,
Is there anything about parties like formal, informal? Do you want anything on them?
no, not at all. I mean, we don't have parties. We don't have that kind of money. We have get-togethers, which people might call parties, but everything. We always have an agenda. We have something that has to take place.
Okay. Somebody might bring food or something like
We
that.
bring food and iced tea, and we start talking about our communities.
Okay. Very good here. 3.32 whistleblowing. What if I, as an organizer, find something in the organization that's a little funny, or maybe someone who's an organizer who's not so good?
Well, that's interesting because we did have something like that. We had, because we're a nonprofit and we're a small nonprofit, we give out money to universities, 200, maybe 5, different universities, larger and bigger chapters of WOCA will get bigger money. So if we have like 300, we give it to you, we give you a credit card actually, and then the credit card is max to 300. We already know that. You can't go any further than that. And then what we do is we encourage you to buy pizza and soda, and you have a meeting at the Women's Center, and you girl chat, and you talk. What happened was a young woman decided to spend the whole 300 on herself.
Oh, that's not so good, yeah.
And we would never have known because it was already a credit card that was just for the 300. And so the 2 of the young girls had to call us and tell us.
So what happened?
It got nasty because not only did they call us, but they called the police. The Women's Center called the police. The two young women did call the police. And the prosecutor asked me if I wanted to prosecute her.
And
You know, $300 is, it's not worth it to ruin a young woman's life. So I told the prosecutor no, but that she would be paying it back in cash, and that we were not filing charges.
so whistleblowing, we want flexibility here
We want
in terms of what you can
flexibility on
hear.
it, yes.
So make a note of that for the handbook. Carpooling,
We do carpool, and we go straight into communities like Burley, Rupert, Blackfoot, Pocatello. We do carpool.
in whose car?
Typically mine.
Okay, next one, unexpected closings. The weather outside is frightful. And what do you do with snow, sleet, hail?
Yeah, we usually don't go into the office if it's, nobody does.
So do you want this section at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Respectful workplace?
Yes, we
Okay.
want that in there, yes.
Okay, we can find some wording for that.
Sure.
Okay. Now, next segment, big section on 4.0. I love recognition. It says volunteer recognition. We've got to rename that section.
Yes.
So who's in charge of that?
Typically, we have a profile on our website that we're developing where we will profile a woman who's done incredible work within her community and our organization. So we profile her on the website. She can show her family and
Oh, okay. That's great.
tell everybody and send it out throughout the country, you know, family in California, New Mexico, Texas, and say, look, if you go to this website, you'll see that they profiled me and my work.
And is that kept historically in the website?
That will be kept in this,
Okay.
yeah, they'll be archived later. Yeah.
Okay.
So we profile you and then you go into the archives. Because then
Okay.
we profile another woman.
Oh, excellent. So any other wonderful things that happen?
Well, yeah. At one time, when Boise State University, the Women's Center used to have a woman making history. And half of the board and some of our membership made all history. We had a vice chair, a chairwoman, a lawyer. All our women made women making history. We had a woman who declared war against the United States government who made history.
Okay.
And yeah, so...
Now, who determines who gets an award?
BSU does. Boise State University, the Women's Center did. So what we do is we send in an application with this individual. They call this person. They have a writer, and they write an article. They write about this person's life, and then it goes to committee at Boise State University. It no longer happens.
So that was university oriented. What about the organization itself? Do you do that?
Well, we do
yourself?
that on behalf of Boise State University because Boise, the Women's Center at Boise State doesn't know who the leaders are out there.
Oh, okay.
So they send us an email and they go, are there women that you want to send names to so that we can, honor them? And we and ourselves honor them by sending their names in.
Okay, well, very good. That's that segment.
All right.
Okay, I love that
We're
segment.
on a roll.
It's important. Security. Who's in charge? You are?
I am.
Okay. And as far as Section 5.02, equipment and vehicles, it's your vehicle?
My vehicle,
And what
personal
else?
vehicle. That's it.
That's it.
My personal vehicle.
Okay. And then people can volunteer their own vehicles.
They do,
but they're
and we
not-
pay for gas.
Pay for gas. Okay. Any equipment?
You mean, no.
No equipment
No
here.
equipment.
Focus on vehicles here.
Yes.
Okay, what about monitoring? I go to the web or I go into your building inappropriately. Is there any monitoring going on like that?
No, we have
Okay.
a night light that turns on because when we're writing major grants, we're typically there anywhere from midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning with other women. And so we have a monitor light that just goes on when we park our cars in the back. And then we have a light by the door as well that goes off. That goes on when we walk out and goes off on its own.
Okay, I see, the organization's computer, and you keep going. Let's see, is that Pinterest? Why are you on Pinterest all the time?
I don't know. Why am I on Pinterest?
But But is that okay, using?
No, it really is not okay, and nobody should be using Pinterest. But Facebook, we do encourage you to use Facebook,
My own Facebook?
your own Facebook, to see what is going on within your community that we might want to join in. So, say for instance, there was film Tree Fort.
Oh, yes.
There was Tree Fort
Downtown Boise.
and we got involved in that as well.
Okay.
There is the market in Eagle and Boise, and we also get involved in there. Why? Because we meet women everywhere. We encourage all women to be part of our organization.
Okay, well, very good.
Mm-hmm. But Pinterest, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's off. I just moved off.
Okay, good. Okay, any inspections, is that relevant?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Keys, who has the keys?
I do.
Okay.
And the chair of the board.
Okay. How often do you change? Very often?
No, the
Yeah,
chair has been with us for 5 years.
What do you want that policy to be?
You know what? I don't even think that's critical.
Should we mention keys at all?
Not at all.
Okay, let's
No.
not. Okay.
Because I'm typically the one that has it, and the president, the chair of the board has it.
How about weapons or bombs or any other threats coming in?
No,
You want to leave it out?
we'll leave it out.
Leave it out here, okay.
Mhm.
We talked about confidentiality already
Mhm.
and things to sign off on. We talked about computer viruses a
Mhm.
little bit
Mhm.
and just find best practices. Students will have to find that.
Mhm.
Data security, you have backups that you
Mhm.
mentioned
We have a
over
backup.
here. Anything else about it?
No.
Okay, nothing else about it. And training and development, next section, who's in charge?
I am.
Okay. And what would be the most relevant thing for the students to hear about the training section? Do you have, for example, orientation?
We do have orientation.
And are you in charge?
I am in charge, and so is the board.
Okay. And would this handbook be part of the organization?
Yes, it would be.
orientation?
Yes,
Okay.
and we do have a handbook for that.
Okay. And training procedures, where do I get trained?
Typically, we use the Idaho Education Association building, which is downstairs. Because it has an elevator, and we have women with disabilities, so we do use their training. We use their office in the basement.
Okay.
It's very big tables, board, everything, and an elevator. That's critical for our trainings.
And it's training as needed?
Training is needed.
Okay. Anything else about training you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so.
Continuing education, I figure, is that similar to 6.02, 6.03 training?
Yes.
Okay. Internships, you mentioned internships briefly, but any more details on that?
No, not at all. Because we're a nonprofit and we don't pay like employees, a lot of our interns will be contract. So say for instance we need our Facebook cleaned up, we will contract somebody to say, this is what we want on our Facebook, this is what we need to get, we want a business Facebook, can you do this for us? What are you looking for, and this is what we can pay. We want it to be a win-win situation. We do not want to take advantage of anybody.
Definitely, in terms of internships, contact the university.
Yes.
Boise State, for example, has a
Yes.
super internship program.
Yeah, and I think, is it Holly? Is it Holly or is
Holly in our College of Business is relevant.
that's the one that that's the woman that I've been speaking to.
Okay. Mentorships, do we have that, 6.06?
Yes, we have that. And that would be the board, and that would be me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything
And-
else to add about that?
Yes, we do have some women from Boise State University that will be mentors to other young women.
How do they become mentors?
We invite them. We know them already personally on one-on-one. There's a young African-American woman who is being mentored by Barbara Morgan, the astronaut.
Okay.
And this African-American woman is going to be going to San Francisco and be working on a very special program for HP, and we believe that she needs to go down to Blackfoot, where there are young African American women that don't see this on their own campus.
Wow. So, a good mentorship program.
Good mentorship program, and also profiling the women and talking about the work that they're doing. And they're not talking about it, they're actually doing it. And so that other young women can go, oh my God, this is somebody that I'd be interested in.
What do you mean by profiling in this case?
Oh,
Put it on the
I shouldn't
web?
have said it. Yeah.
Oh, we're in trouble.
We're not profiling. Yes, introducing her, highlighting her wonderful experiences. We're not profilers.
Okay, how do you highlight that?
We put her picture on the website,
Okay.
and we put a short bio, and we give her a WOCA email address, so that her personal stuff is not used.
Okay, excellent. Excellent, very good. Very good. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, section 7.0, safety. I'm assuming you were in charge, is that
I'm
right?
in charge again, yes. The
Okay.
ED is always in charge.
Okay, section 7.02, sorry, I fell in our facility, I broke my arm. What happens?
That's scary, because we are in a building that belongs to a company, and they have insurance. They do have insurance, and since we're upstairs, and within their own building, we are covered through their insurance as well.
Okay, so if I fall and break my elbow, what happens to me?
You go to the doctor, and the insurance will pay for it.
Insurance, and so report that to the organization or the other one?
I don't know. I would think that you would report it to us, and we would report it to the building.
Okay, so report to you here. Now, 7.03, material safety data sheets or safety data sheets. These are sheets that are free on the web for any chemical that you have. That could be Windex, could be toner for your copier, and you can obtain it for free. So if I happen to drink toner, what should I do? Should I throw up or go to the doctor immediately? I don't know. Where would you have these sheets?
Yeah, we don't have them.
Okay, recommend.
We would hope
have
that
them.
you would not come into our office and drink our toner, because we desperately need it.
Okay.
But if you're into toner and you drink it, well, we would have to rush you to the doctor immediately. And but we don't have that information. No, that's something that we would have never thought
And
of.
where would you put that information?
That would be by probably at the kitchen in
Okay.
one of our doors.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, very good.
Yeah.
So it's something to report, get
Yes.
more details later on here. Okay, in terms of the other ones here, some may or may not be available here. Respiratory protection, do you want that?
Nope,
Chemical safety?
nope,
Okay, lockout, tagout?
nope.
Hearing conservation?
What's the hearing conservation? Tell me what that would be.
Oh, there's an obvious joke, I didn't hear you, but if it's too loud, do you want any discussions about loudness in the
No.
area? No. Okay. Communicable diseases?
No,
No. Motor vehicles in terms of safety?
nope.
Okay. Inclement weather? Do we, I'm from the Midwest, and so we had tornado warnings, and we ordered everybody downstairs. Do you want anything here?
No,
Okay. Emergency evacuation?
nope,
Okay. Violence in the workplace? Do you want something?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Anything in particular other than with what students can find on the
yes,
web?
yes. Just
Anything
with
you need?
students, general.
General, okay. Refusing unsafe work.
Refusing unsafe work.
An example would be I go to a town and there's possible bad things that can happen.
Okay,
And the meeting I can go, can I say no?
yes, you
I
can say no.
no here.
Yes. Just
Okay.
say no.
Now, one of my favorite sections of the handbook is miscellaneous.
Okay. That's
Okay.
open.
I am giving you, the organizer, a big gift. This is $100. Is that okay?
That is a very interesting question. What does that $100
It's
come
to you.
with?
There's no strings. It's just to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if there were strings?
Yeah, that would not be good.
So no strings attached.
No strings attached.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's another case. I have my charity, which is Charity Z.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'd like to do, I know this organization needs money, but I would like to see if this organization can donate money to Charity Z.
Mm-hmm.
I go to you?
You would come to me. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you'd be making the decision on
Yes,
that because
with
it's
the
a worthy
board.
cause. With the board.
Mhm.
Only with the board's approval.
Only with the board's approval can I give money to another charity. And
Okay.
typically it doesn't happen, but it has happened.
Yeah, and this is some big money. I mean, $200 or something.
That's big money for us.
Okay. Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout cookies.
What about that?
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
Would not do
No,
that.
we would
Okay.
not buy Girl Scout cookies.
Okay. Could I put my charity logo on the board here? Charity Z.
That would be a question for the board. I could not make that by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the board here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 8.02 records of all the volunteers and all that. Where do you keep them?
In our
and
file, and it's locked up.
Are they permanent?
No, actually, we just cleaned out our files back to 2005 or 6.
And so we're talking about 10-year range or so?
And we actually we take them to get officially shredded.
Okay.
Yeah, officially
Okay.
shredded. Yes.
Very good. Okay. I'm basically an organizer here, and I have a new address. Who do I contact?
To me.
Okay.
And I would change it on file.
Change that here. Oh, this is a tough one. It's a huge issue. Parking. Where do I park?
Well, since we're in Hyde Park, you can park anywhere. Anywhere.
I got a ticket the other day at Hyde Park.
Um,
I'm doing official business here, but I
Yeah.
got a ticket.
Yeah.
Could I ask you to pay it for me?
Yeah, more than likely, if you're a board member and a member that doesn't have the money, typically I would pay it for you. Yes,
Could it be on an as-needed basis?
as needed basis.
Okay.
We don't want to, and we would say, well, where did you park? You know, it's all free parking. Where would you park?
In the neighborhood where they have a 2-hour limit.
Okay.
That's where I did it. Sorry. Open door policy. You want something like that in there? Okay. Changes in policies. Are you in charge of that, or the board? Or
The
what?
board is.
Board is.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say 8.07. I would put in the handbook is not a contract.
Yes.
Period.
Perfect.
And volunteering at will statement, I would put that in, get the right wording. And then the appendices. Appendix A, volunteering at will signature page.
Do you guys have that? Do you have that?
And,
Or do we have to come up with that?
oh, we can make it.
Okay.
Do you want any glossaries?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Any appropriate terms?
You know what? I'd have to look at my I don't know. You tell me.
That anything unique? You mentioned.
I mentioned the IRO, right?
What is that?
The internalized racial oppression training. We would describe it and tell you what that means, and then the leadership development.
And you mentioned another interesting number, 503C, in terms of what organization you are. That's not in the outline,
Okay.
but this is an IRS designation.
Okay. Yes. We are a 501c3.
501c3.
501c3. We are a
Okay.
nonprofit.
And what does that mean in this case?
That means that we're a tax exempt organization, and well, we're under strict guidelines to follow the IRS accreditation or accommodation on how we do business.
Are you in charge of making sure that everything's good?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Appendix C, confidentiality signature page. I'm assuming you want that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a copy of that?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Should we create it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And I'll send you our logo and everything.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Thank you.
And will you give us a guide to what should be in the confidentiality page
Okay.
in the future? That would be great.
Okay.
Equipment return signature page.
Yes.
Add that. I'll try to find something in the web on that.
Okay.
Conflict of interest signature page.
Yes.
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 And so it's something that we can write up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are done with the outline.
Wow, I'm
Is there-
impressed.
Anything else we'd like to add?
Oh, I can't think of anything right now. I'm just looking at more stuff that I need to get to you
Okay.
to make sure that, I mean, we have a whole report here on the Women of Color Lines, so I need to send this to you as well.
Okay, so we'll have plenty of supplemental materials available for the students that will be in the online class or any other classes that may be necessary. Is there anything else you would like to add to the handbook?
No, I think we've done it. I think we got it all.
Well, I really appreciate the visit, and thank you, Sonya, for providing students an opportunity to help write your handbook. And so I really appreciate all this, and thank you very much, and look forward to having these handbooks written. And by the way, for everybody, have a great day.
Thank you.